So fun fact. There's someone in my PS4 friends list who's playing WWE 2K17 right now. I just thought that was a fun note for you. Welcome back to Psycho-Pass. If you're watching the YouTube version, this is gonna continue immediately off of where the last one left. You thought I finished this? Oh, you poor, sweet, naive summer child. The game doesn't end. It won't die. For you see, we have accidentally obtained the true ending. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember the table tennis scene, and my memory just stops there. Like, I know there was something in between the table tennis and right now. I have no recollection of it. How the fuck did we get the true ending? What's great is, because I looked it up to try and figure out how long this was going, and I don't know for sure, but what I did see is, so the next time we get an ending, that's basically over, but if we get an ending that says true ending, I was told to get that true ending, and then if you reload the game from your last choice and make that exact same decision again, then it keeps going and you get the true ending. So we're gonna see where this takes us. I'm going into this with like no memory of what the fuck's going on. That afternoon, I ran into Miss Kugitachi. She was with Genoza, and it seemed like they were going somewhere. Is it just the you didn't kill a baby ending? I just see chat getting upset about true ending. That doesn't make sense. It's like an Undertale, where like you save right before the final boss, and then you get the pacifist ending, and then you have to reload the game and do the final boss again to get the true pacifist ending. It's that, except instead of a boss fight, you just make the exact same decision again. From what I've been told, that could be just factually wrong. There's like a 3-year-old forum post. By the way, I sincerely hope this stream is only like 30 minutes long. I don't know if Sony Vegas can bother rendering 3.5 hours of this. I'm about to have to start cutting Fire Promoter and Mystery Dungeon streams in half when I upload them, because the Mystery Dungeon stream legitimately took 30 hours to render, so that was fucked. I also have to remember everyone's voice again. Hey, where are you headed? To see Chief Kasai. Kugitachi, that's of no concern to him. Excuse me, but it is very likely that we are meeting Chief Kasai regarding Alpha's case, so I believe it is necessary to share such information with the enforcers. It's also how you can unlock Mew in this game. Stop talking this instant. If we are both inspectors, does that mean you have authority over me? Ugh, okay, well, that's my cue. Oh, wait, that's me. Okay, well, that's my cue. Sorry for keeping you guys. I thought he did have authority over her. Why are you apologizing? Let's go, Kugitachi. The chief is expecting us. If we die, that's it. Like, I fucking end it. 10 minutes later. A little while later, we were all called into the office. We're fired. Get out. Genoza and Miss Kugitachi stood before us. It's been confirmed by the Public Safety Bureau's Cyber Warfare team that Alpha is in fact an AI. Silence. It felt like the air was sucked out of the room. Genoza continued, we know this! It's a formidable bug that is capable of destroying the entire society. It needs to be eliminated at once. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Whatever. Let's figure it out. Hey, gamer. What's up with... We didn't get Alpha 2. A cyberized young man is secretly behind the chaotic events. He is a highly intelligent AI equipped with human emotion, seeking to bring happiness to all humans. Alpha is an extreme... Okay, what the fuck ever. We received orders to eliminate Alpha. This will be the first counter-AI operation in the history of the PESB. We have been authorized to use cyber warfare equipment. I thought he was human. No. He's cyborg. Alpha 2 is just a sassy coffee maker. Only 2 people could use the Caw at one time. What? Basically, they were a pair of gloves and eyewear that allowed us to manipulate the network at will. The difference between this and VR avatars was that the Caw directly connected to the user's brain, allowing the access VR space to be directly manipulated. I don't know if I want to make a WWE creator wrestler joke or a bird screaming joke. In other words, you can change the world however you like, just like fighting Freddy Krueger in your dreams. Sounds like fun. Let me give it a shot. Bet this won't backfire, yeah.
It's not a toy. You will be exposed to high levels of stress. It's likely that we will lose our minds in exchange for that level of power.
Wait, isn't this Jaden's glasses? Holy fuck, you're actually right. Wait, this is literally Nam and Jaden FBI's glasses. It all comes together. What a twist. It's a Heavy Rain prequel, nerds. It was developed from the results of medical cyberization R&D. Likewise, it utilized the same direct connection to the brain, allowing for direct VR space. You're actually 100% right. This is literally the glasses that Norman Jaden had in Heavy Rain. And he lost his mind in most playthroughs, but not ours, because he was stabbed to death by a katana in our playthrough. This must be the way Alpha works, too. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. It'd be terrible if we lost our minds. Ticks box on killed a baby form. So why was the medical cyborg invented in the first place? I still didn't know the answer to that, but the timing of the cyber warfare equipment seemed too good to be true. A prequel that takes place in the future that sounds like David Cage. Hey, we don't know when Heavy Rain takes place. Maybe the police state failed and it reverted back to regular society. Didn't he make an AI game? Yeah, brother, Detroit Become Human. Coming to this stream this summer. Stay tuned. Maybe all this research was meant for some larger purpose? I couldn't help thinking that, but I didn't say a word. There are lots of things I can't say, and many more I don't know. Even Genozer and Miss Kugitachi might not know. Shit, even the Chief could be in the dark about some things. Cyber diving with counter-AI weapons, huh? It all sounds like something out of a science fiction novel. It's not a game. Brace yourselves. Piece of cake, just another day's work for an enforcer, right?
You're so dull.
There's not much to think about. Just know that it means to serve, protect, and leave the rest to the Dominator.
You may not be able to use the Dominator, or at least Sybil's eyes may not reach the VR space.
Seriously? Damn, dude, maybe we should get some real weapons. We don't have enough info to determine if that's true. Karen Omori, you're in charge of the call. Learn how to use it. We're powerless against Alpha without it. Okay, but if you're leaving me to figure this out, then Yayoi has to help me too. Fuck is Yayoi?
Is that okay, Inspector Genoza?
Are you Yayoi? By all means. Only 2 people can use the call at a time, right? So does that mean only 2 of us can carry out the mission? Do we get to choose? Exactly. We've already received orders from Chief Kasai. So, who? Main is Tsurugi, sub is Kugitachi. Both of you should first prepare the equipment, infiltrate the VR space, then execute the operation. Karen Omori provides support. I guess it makes sense. They are the male and female characters, basically. Roger. I'm the one who's going to eliminate Alpha? Well, I mean, Karen, Kuga, whatever the fuck's coming with us. After the briefing was over, Miss Kugitachi approached me and said, "It looks like you have a clouded hue from that look on your face, Enforcer Tsurugi. Do you have doubts about carrying out the operation?" It's not like that, but what about you? Are you fine with eliminating Alpha? Why wouldn't she be? That is our order, and it needs to be done. You seem uncertain. He's the AI that Yukari raised, and was modeled after me. It's not easy for me to have a clear conscience about this. I think we'll move on. I felt that Miss Kugitachi also harbored a special feeling toward Alpha, or was that just what I wanted to believe? Why would you think that? By the way, the Chief has been talking about you lately. Why would hue color mean doubt? Because it's a thought crime. He's thinking about maybe not wanting to do it, and that's bad. That's a no think. That's wrong think. By the way, the Chief has been talking about you lately. About me? It amused her that you've been snooping around. What's that supposed to mean? I do not know, but I thought you might know something. What did she meant by me snooping around? I already knew about why Alpha was created, but why had Yukari ordered that cyborg? Fucking she's the missing childhood friend. Just please end. She's not, though. She isn't. I wondered why the Chief would say such a thing. Was it a warning, or was she trying to give me a hint? Have we even met the police chief? No. She said that whatever you were looking for was closer than you think. Closer than I think? What a mysterious thing to say. Any idea what she was talking about? Does the police chief know? Something I've been looking for. What did she meant? Was it about Alpha? Or could it be Yukari? I'm even more confused now. It's like the Chief enjoys messing with me. Not even. The Alpha elimination operation is a critical mission. You should be honored to be given this chance. And if anything, it shows that she trusts you. I hope you're right. It seems like the Chief is looking out for me. Something, something, something. Miss Kugitachi, Tsurugi, may I interrupt? We need to begin discussing the Alpha elimination operation. Understood. Don't worry, we're setting up for the final boss fight. Easy peasy, it's gonna be over quick. So, what's your plan, Gino? Because of that operation, we're going to head back to the city, correct? It all depends on the cause performance. After confirming it works, we may be able to operate from the PSB headquarters instead. I will say this right now. If this somehow goes like 2 hours, God help us all, it will be split on YouTube. So, I mean, that's something that doesn't affect us. I just want to say that. Maybe the VR space is connected to the whole world.
I doubt it. The nation's isolationism is unwavering. Even the network has been guarded off with firewalls. But then again, they aren't unbreakable.
Hey, Yaoi, don't say such things. Anyway, just sit tight and trust in my abilities for now. Uh-oh, I have a bad feeling about this. We received a report that several girls sought out refuge at a Coast Guard base near the outskirts of Sato Marine City crying for help. Another incident has occurred. Dude, fuck, I don't know how they handle the Yukari reveal without it being total shit. Dude, I'm almost like 50-50 that there isn't gonna be a Yukari reveal. Like, she's just gone. The base was located near the mainland across the ocean from Sato Marine City. Since most of the northern region was unpopulated, the base was isolated, so when the girls suddenly showed up, the soldiers were shocked and surprised they were still alive. Initially, the plan was to transfer them to Tokyo, but they were so emaciated they couldn't move, so they retreated to a medical facility on the base. In addition to the physical damage they endured, their Hugh suffered. They claimed that everyone was going to die if nothing was done. The girls claim that either a plague or food poisoning epidemic has broken out in Sato Marine City, and that civilians are collapsing one after another. How is the audio, by the way? I didn't even ask this. It could be, like, dirty loud or dead silent. I think it's dead silent. Is there no audio right now? Gameplay-wise? That's terrible. But do the facts check out? I've asked Miss Karen Amori to confirm that already, but for some reason the passenger line of the undersea subway is offline, and there hasn't been any sign of its reopening.
What are the drones doing?
According to the girls, they're working fine, but...
But what?
Think the audio's good? Okay, that's fine. The audio on this game is real weird, and for some reason, like, it looks super low on Streamlabs, even though apparently it's fine. When people asked for help, the drones did nothing but take them away to an unknown location. The girls said they were left for dead with their worsening hues. Impossible! Still, they're not doing their job. The drones just left them. Only if their claims are true, but we haven't confirmed it yet. Anyway, the passenger line of the subway was shut down, so they couldn't flee to Tokyo, but their only way to cross the ocean was by a boat they planned to use in the summer. A private boat? You must be very well off. Generally speaking, the high society has stable hues. It wouldn't make any sense they had ulterior motives to fabricate their story. Can you figure that out by observing their behavior? We can get more information that way, and might be able to extract the truth from them. This is going 70s show again, where everyone just loops in a circle to say one line. I'll prepare right away. Are we about to have to do a whole nother case before we even fight Alpha? Soon after, we received footage of the girls from the base. After examining it, Miss Kugitachi declared they told the truth. There's no way they could fake how weak they looked. Sorry, I'm opening a water. I've established a connection as well. We have a live stream of Sato Marine City now. The connection was slow, But when it appeared on screen, it looked peaceful. I don't even know what's going on. Dude, same brother. I just want to fucking grill. Good work. Can you switch cameras? Okay, sure thing. Where do you want to look first? The middle school. That's where the last incident took place. Skirt. An image of an ordinary school popped up. Students were practicing sports on the school grounds. It looked like the quiet daily life of the city had returned. But... who the fuck is Kogami? Oh. Hang on! Zoom in right there! Gami pointed to screen 1 and it zoomed in on a student. Isn't that Ryotaro Funaoka, the perp from the riot? Why the hell is he here? What are we even doing? Karen Amori! Can't we see the apartment from the child abuse and I don't know why I just said it like that. The child abuse and abduction case? I'm losing my mind. Of course, but why? Zoom in on the window in the 8th floor. Isn't that the room where Yuya and his mother were? Hey, look, the window's fixed. Did somebody replace it after I broke in? It's all old footage. It's all old footage being put over the camera. Remember when Alpha pointed out Kogami for no reason? It's because he knew he's a baby killer. He said, you're a baby murderer. I know baby killer when I see one. Okay, so this is old footage. They're tricking them. This isn't a live feed. It's old footage on like a loop or something. No, it has not been replaced. It has not even been broken yet. Really? So this is footage from before all those incidents?
The street cameras have been hacked, and old footage is being looped as if it's happening in real time. That has to be the reason.
The peaceful world where Ryotaro Funaoka never committed a crime, and where the apartment was never broken into. But then, all of that could only have existed in the past. Alpha fucking sucks. Yeah, dude, he used video camera footage of the literal, like, criminal. Like, I can let this slide, even though it's kind of dumb. Like, I could understand maybe thinking they wouldn't notice or anything. But, like, you're gonna put the dude who was, like, your fake main evil dude from Trial 3 still in the footage, you moron? This is futile. Is there a way to look at the city from another location? If not from within the city, then from the outside. That's two voices put together. I'm losing my mind. That's why I just asked where. From the sea. If the border patrol is nearby, there's bound to be a frigate. Aha, I see. It won't be difficult to connect to their surveillance system, but do you think they'll cooperate? Worst police state ever. Let me try and negotiate with them. I know, Bubba. Stinky. Miss Tsunomori quickly requested for their support. In a few moments, footage of the ocean was projected on the screen, and in the middle was the dome of Sato Marine City. Please let the whole thing be on fire. Like a snow globe, but with flames. That looks completely normal. Through the roof of the transparent dome, I could see within the city now. We all waited and watched as the camera continued to zoom in. Hey, there's someone there, right? He's not moving. There's like quite a few people not moving. He has collapsed. You gotta be kidding me. What's going on? The whole city is a mess. Look, a drone! It picked up the man, then pressed onward to the abandoned district. He said, "Scoop." This is ridiculous. The drone isn't functioning properly. What's wrong with the management system? It can only be Alpha's doing. Let's move out. We have to do something about it. Agreed. This is a state of emergency. Let's go. Alright, prepare the transportation. Will do. I would also like analyst Kyron Amori to accompany us. The call cyber warfare equipment most likely be needed. Okay, it's sure getting busy. Is there no manual police here? No, only thought police. We also decided to bring the cyberized body with us just in case. It still contained the recorded logs, and we could use it as reference to help us accomplish the operation. So is Alpha all of the... Oh boy. We all rushed to the VTOL. I sat next to Miss Kugitachi. There was something I needed to make sure of. Do you want to resume our conversation from earlier? Well, I guess so. Oh, thank God. Alright, well, we know this. Damn it. Who are you? Do you have anything to do with Yukari, the woman I've been searching for?
Like I could have asked her that.
A city is being held hostage. There isn't a single police squad thing. I doubted she could even answer me, being that she lost her memory, so I decided to try out other methods.
What's your take on people who suffer from Eustress deficiency? Like, how would you go about treating them?
What would Yukari do? That was what I wanted to know. For some reason, they both rationalized the same way. Miss Kugatachi's response could be similar to Yukari's.
That's a really tough question, but... But what? The best way to treat them may possibly be giving them the ultimate happiness that Alpha strives for. That's absurd. Think about it. The patients don't feel a thing, which means they don't get stressed, leading to an always clear hue. It's a peaceful world without any pain or agony. Can you actually call that living? That doesn't matter in their case. Nevertheless, it would be a living hell for their loved ones. So what? Tell me. So if you really want to live in happiness, you must live alone. You got to be kidding me. Relationships are necessary. As long as we live, humans will be tied together. There is no other choice to detach yourself from everything. If not, the people you care about will only be dragged further and further into the depths of grief. There are bonds that can never be broken. I'm so glad we're having this deep conversation on the helicopter. If so, humanity's desire to seek out happiness must disappear.
Why is she turning into a villain on the helicopter?
What? What? I know that sounds extreme, but the happiness of Eustress deficiency patients will never come unless their suffering ends and they are removed from this world. What is happening? So you're telling me they should die? If you think logically, then that is the inevitable resolution. Did Yukari think logically as well? Did her mind work like Miss Kugatachi's detached logic? Did Yukari reach the same conclusion and bring about the euthanasia case?
She's going full Hitler.
Can I ask you one more question? So, Miss Kugatachi, if you were a medical professional, would you euthanize Eustress deficiency patients? I am an inspector. God, I hate you. She answered without any need to process the question, with her usual calm look on her face. It is necessary to fulfill my duties by analyzing any and all cases, so considering myself as a medical professional would deviate from that. So, I cannot answer your question. Argumentative as always. You definitely just said we should kill crippled people, though. I apologize if that bothers you. It's okay. That's your merit as an inspector. After all, sorry. This was helpful. Thank you. You are a psychopath, and I will be avoiding you from now on.
And finally, we got off the helicopter. Thank God. But you could answer on what you would do with the patients, true. We returned to the city once again. I had a feeling we'd come back, but none of us could have ever predicted what was in store for us. It's psychopaths. This city was, if you think about it, the Dominator is just a real life vibe check. The city was littered with bodies. Still, the end. The city was littered with bodies. The end. Still alive, but they were all unconscious, with a serene look stamped on their faces. They didn't respond to anything, not even pain. Wait, you kicked the bodies or something? Wake up! Bam! There is no doubt that they have the Eustress deficiency. Oh, we better get her out of here then! It's strange to see so many of them at one time. This is not a fluke. It was probably caused by someone. Alpha wanted to make humans happy, and this must be how. The ghastly, silent city roared with angry cries. Glass shattered and wild laughter filled the air. It had to be the doing of the mastermind from the riot incident. Wait, how did the silent city roar with angry cries? What's with all the noise? I thought Eustrus was this urban legend. No, it's real and we have to kill it. A robbery! A gang of people resembling those brats from the riot were causing an uproar. They were breaking into shops and stealing and smashing things. Excuse me. Heaven's Gate, no doubt. Suppress them immediately. Roger that. Your dominator's not gonna work, dum-dum. So, the public safety has made their move. Perfect. This should help keep them busy for a while. It's not like I can handle them all by myself. He was nothing but a virtual form of himself. In the VR space, there was no need to keep recording the boy's form. Though no one could see him, he was still, in fact, a boy. The numbers, which flashed in his eyes, were left behind with the cyborg. It was merely a shell of his true self, mechanical and meaningless. But his life had meaning. To be praised by his mother, that was all he wanted. And so, he kept trying to make everyone happy. Among his pile of broken memories, that was something he always held on to. What's the point of that sentence? Shut up. I don't know. But maybe making every human happy could be impossible. Even though I gave them Heaven's Gate, I can't believe how many of them are raging or just sleeping. Sorry, but they have to go bye-bye. There's just too many humans for the new world I'm trying to create. I have to come up with a way to get rid of them all. A whole lot of turning points for decisions I haven't made. The victims were transported to National Hospital, same place our temp HQ had been last time. Oh, what a convenient reuse of assets. Now he's going Thanos. Luckily, the hospital was up to date for the most part and operated normally. We helped the staff using the drones they had available. They operated on an autonomous system, giving them a higher resistance against hacking. It was just what we needed. With the help of those drones, we began accommodating the unconscious victims in the hospital wards. At the same time, we need to pinpoint the cause of their illness. Wait, why is the staff fine? Shh, shh, shh. Heaven's Gate was our first suspicion, but after we patted down all the patients and rioters, we couldn't find any of the supplements needed to make that dangerous cocktail. I don't understand how Alpha's plan works. Shh, it's okay, it's almost over. Their homes yielded the same result, nothing. Instead of finding traces of a cause, we found more victims! At that point, we needed to focus on rescuing them. Sato Marine City, residential area. Oh, finally some gameplay. But we know it's Heaven's Gate because Alpha said so. Alpha never said it was Heaven's Gate. He said he has given some people Heaven's Gate, but that doesn't mean the people rioting have Heaven's Gate. Or do they? Maybe they didn't make themselves. Maybe he's injecting it into their eyelids. This isn't part of my job. Let's split into a rescue team and a search team. Inspector Genoza, what do you think? That's fine. I will take command of the rescue team. Tsurugi, go and check on the patients. Understood. Where do I start? The city is bigger than it seems. I will come along too. Gugitachi, you will go with Tsunomori to search for the cause. With that being said, finding and rescuing the victims are tasks that require more manpower. Agreed. Taku, I'm coming with you too. Oh, awesome. Let's do it. Hell yeah, brother. Let's do it. Let's go. Woo! Boys not out. Yeah. Woo! Fist bump. Hey, wait. Don't be so hasty. What do you mean rescue people? Rescuing people isn't part of your job. I'm going to. It's essential to have someone who can configure the drones properly, after all. Is she like a mechanic or something? I didn't know this. Thanks, Kunizuka. Damn it, they never listen. But things didn't go as smooth as we would have liked. The hospital drones started getting hacked into and stopped working. Oh no! Our whole thing we just set up about why they couldn't be hacked, it only bought just enough time for us to show up and then they were hacked. Oh no! Yeah, whole city being under attack, only send one police squad. This has to be expected. Alpha had already penetrated the hospital server and stole a medical cyborg after all. Does he want these victims to suffer? That damn Alpha. What does he want? From Alpha's standpoint, all the victims are in a state of utter bliss, his definition of happiness at least, and so there's no need to take any further actions. Without drones, we had to do all the work by hand. There were only 5 of us in the rescue team. Nevertheless, we would get it done no matter what. They never enhanced their security afterwards. Nah, man. Thankfully, not all of the civilians fell into a comatose state. There were some who were okay, more or less. We asked them to help us bring the victims to the hospital. But they said no. Even then, we barely made progress. Most people were dazed and sluggish. They looked like their souls were evaporating from their bodies. How strange. They all look like they're just wasting away. No, it was the city that was wasting away. No, Alpha didn't like them sleeping, dude. Fuck, why did we need that Alpha monologue? Oh, poor sad Dunk. She says this game sucks. I want to play Mario. Hey, Miss Kugitachi, look at the environmental holo. Doesn't it look kind of weird? Hello, Dunks. You see it too, Tsurugi? I thought something was off, too. What's the meaning of this? No matter where you look, the streets look like a child's room, you think? What the fuck are you talking about? Compared to the PSB recommended children's room, this was more generic looking. There weren't any parks or public spaces. It was just a bare, neutral space. How is that a child's room? There is a logical explanation for this. By substituting the environmental holo with a children's room setting, all stimuli are removed, which minimalizes overall stress. What? What the fuck? I really want to tear it all down. Screw this. Is this also Alpha's doing? I feel like it's everything is supposed to be like blank and white, but they didn't feel like changing the background image, so it still looks like a street. Should we record the projection? There's a possibility that we can use it later on as a piece of evidence. I don't understand. No. Kunazuka, try restarting and taking back control of the hospital drones. Leave the recording to Tsurugi. Roger. Let's get this done quickly. Yeah, let's do it. The victims need our help. Let's go. Let's speed run this. I captured the environmental holo of the city using the camera of my Riscom. We returned to the Temp HQ. I couldn't wrap my head around rescuing 40,000 people with only our division, much less now that the hospital drones were out of commission. Maybe call some fucking backup. What evidence are we even gathering? Nothing. So Miss Kunazuka and Miss Karanomori focused on getting the drones to run again. Meanwhile, we exchanged our findings with Miss Tsunomori's search team. Dude, thank God I stopped this last time. All AI secretaries have been hacked and overridden. We've also discovered that the food supply and water of each home contains high concentrations of Heaven's Gate. That's crazy! Why is there only one division for 40,000 people? Exactly. That means that we would all have been infected if the hospital didn't run on its own independent system. Ah, how convenient! It's not only the food supply. Check out this footage. I showed them the environmental holo, and Miss Kugitachi explained what it meant. Everyone quickly understood it was used to keep the stress level extremely low. That damn Alpha. He turned his city into a little kid's room. In this city of Alpha's paradise, you can't even make your own choice. Everyone's psychopaths is fine, and they rely on drones. But it's basically the same as our society. What? How? Tsunomori, watch your mouth. Oh, I guess because they don't get to make their own decisions. Sorry. With his abilities, Alpha can easily take over the hospital system. He's probably overlooking it. Is he intentionally leaving us alone? What are you talking about? Didn't he literally just hack the drones in the hospital? He's trying to give everyone what he thinks is happiness. In order to do that, he needs to keep them alive for as long as possible. Making 40,000 people like that? Do you mean he's going to inflict the Eustress deficiency upon the city's entire population? Any existence of such a disease hasn't been confirmed yet. But we can't overlook the possibility. I'm not even going to address that, by the way. But we can't overlook the possibility given what happened in the previous case. At worst, the entire population will be nothing but a lifeless shell of what they used to be. Is there like... Oh, it's in the other room. I thought there was funky music playing, but that's from the other room. This hospital isn't capable of accommodating that many people. Victims were taken to the abandoned district by the drones. I guess they were being held somewhere there. But how can he do this to 40,000 people? I think selection is the next step. Most likely, he can only accept a certain amount of people. Alpha's paradise has no room for excess. In time, people will be removed. So it's limited to only those who can truly be happy? If that's the case, we just have to save them, right? Exactly! I'm sorry, there wasn't supposed to be emphasis on them. Just save them. It might not be that simple, though, right? Karanomori, Kunazuka, have you guys regained control of the drones? Yes, to a certain extent. We can control them within the hospital, but once we operate them outside, their system gets interrupted and then terminated. Guess we have to look after these patients for now. Is this even possible? But what can we do? We can't possibly think of all 40,000 people by ourselves. Anyway, let's move out. We won't solve anything if we don't do anything. Yeah, let's do this, I said for the third time in the last 40 minutes. Get a drink here. To all civilians of Sato Marine City, currently there is a malfunction within the city system. Please do not eat or drink anything from your home. If you have consumed any food or beverage from your meal server, please go to the National Hospital at once. Can this end? No. I repeat, currently there is a malfunction within the city system. We deeply apologize for the inconvenience. Please do not use the meal server at your home. After Miss Tsunemori's broadcast, many people flooded into the hospital. I couldn't believe how many people managed to endure their suffering till now. Why is there just a random city in the ocean? Future. After checking your ID and hue, we will inform you of a nearby shelter. Please proceed there and wait for further instructions. We will soon provide water and food. Stop pushing, there's no need to be impatient. Hey, you lady, don't let go of your kid's hand. Meanwhile, in sports. Public facilities were designated shelters, like the hospital. Their management system and meal servers were independent from AI secretaries. How convenient! Dude, fuck W2K20 Future was much cooler than this. That's saying something. But if Alpha wanted to, it wouldn't be hard for him to hack them. So, necessities had to be brought in from outside the city. Genoza spearheaded the logistics for this endeavor. Damn, that's cool. We suddenly have resources. Alright, here it is. Another helicopter, great.
Hey, Gino! There's no need to land, just fly over to the shelters! You can dump the supply containers at the site! The noise of the aircraft would worsen the area's stress level. That's not true! Normally it's noisy and trying to hear, but now the civilians will only hear the sounds of angels flying. You have a point, but this has auto-navi. I can't risk the danger of Alpha hacking into it. That chance is extremely low. He wants to bring happiness to the people. He won't do something as foolish as leaving them to starve to death. I'll trust your opinion for now.
Kogami's in on it. I don't fucking trust. Kogami's in on it. He's a rat. The aircraft flew off, heading for the shelters. To all civilians at the shelters, we are beginning to distribute emergency supplies. Please be patient and wait until it arrives. Yes, he would. His fucking monologues spoiled his plan. How impressive. The people have started to help one another, taking part in the supply distribution and caring for others. Humanity is not hopeless just yet. And clearly this is not our future. Enforcer Kunazuka, how is the process of evacuating the civilians to the shelter going? 50% so far, so 20,000 people have been evacuated. What about the other half? There are a few possibilities. For one, some people may be wary and are afraid to leave their homes. The drugs they took affect their judgment after all. The rest of the population would fall victim to the same pattern, either rioting in the streets or accepting their fate as comatose patients. It was only a matter of time. We need to get them to cooperate. Or get them to cooperate. I'm sorry, that makes way more sense. Let's cook up some emergency food. Cook emergency food. We should eat something nice and warm at a time like this. 3 fucking times a character says something dumb because we already know what Alpha's thinking. Hell yeah, brother. To all civilians, we are currently distributing emergency food at the Central Park. For those who have not evacuated the shelters yet, please come. Ha ha! What a nice, happy, goofy image. Oh, don't you just love these two goofballs? Oh, what wacky shenanigans me and my bro here always get ourselves into. Just another day on the force. Ha ha ha! Here you go, hot and fresh curry. We have plenty for seconds. Ah, and then the happy music plays. Ah, ha, ha, what a fun time this has been. We were always just some crazy situations we're getting ourselves into. Another one for the history books. Curry was my favorite. The aroma was unlike other foods. As if being drawn in by it, more people started to gather around. But they didn't come forward, only staring at us. What's wrong? No need to hold back, kid. Hey, little boy over there. That kid looked like he was about 5 years old. Though he looked interested, his young mother grabbed his hand and hid him behind her back. Why are you all making that face as if it's been poisoned or something? Don't say such things, Shu. Have you forgotten how civilians are taught to think? Taught to think? Civilians are taught to think the food provided by the auto server is safe to eat, but homemade food is bad. It's supposed to make your hue clouded, remember? And you're telling me this now. They're all thinking that. We only know better because we're enforcers. Still, even though hyper oats are used as food supply, it can be soiled in the wrong hands. Dog, what the fuck are you talking about? Hey gamers, did you know that if you eat a home-cooked meal, you will go to hell and die forever? The ultimate why don't they both know that? The ultimate transgenic crop, it is easy to process and its nutritional values can be adjusted, making it a multi-purpose grain that has become the basic ingredient for 99% of food products. Japan's food self-sufficiency would not have been possible without the hyper oats, along with the self-sufficient energy brought by methane hydrate. These are arguably the two pillars to support Japan's isolationist policy, allowing the nation to be the world's only peaceful country. Yeah, woo, go Japan. Also, the government's giving the food, so it's not exactly homemade food. There were no consequences to consume food that was not popped out from an auto server, though a groundless rumor managed to make people think otherwise. My parents always laughed it off, though. My teacher was the same. He'd say, you need to eat foods that keep your hue clear, but a home-cooked meal is always best. The generation before my parents knew how it had been before society shifted to self-sufficient hyper oats, but as the times changed, so did everyone else. Hey Shu, my curry recipe was passed down from my mom. She always made it whenever we had gatherings at my house. Each time I'd watch her, and that's how I learned it. And that's how you became a latent criminal? Idiot! How could eating something affect my hue? On the contrary, it was only affected when I couldn't beat it. I stared at the kid as he looked back at me with eyes full of regret. What should I do? We have no choice but to taste it ourselves. Hey Shu, show him that there's nothing wrong with it. Great idea, so he'll try it. I mean, eat it in front of everyone. The fuck? Why not? If nobody will eat the delicious food, then I will. Dude, fuck this. Yeah, this is a shitty filler episode. Hey, Taku, that's too much. Give me some too, man. Don't just jab your spoon like that, you motherfucker. So delish, as expected from a genius like me. Bastard, that's my mom's recipe. How dare you, it's obviously mine. Hold up, we're eating the same thing, so why are we fighting? Could it be? Shu, you, and my mother. I thought it was gonna say are the same person. Read the same recipe? Oh my god, what a shocking twist. We busted with laughter. Oh ho ho! Another one for the boys. I only like Kaguri. Suddenly, the boy whose mother had dragged him away pried his hands out of hers and raced towards us. Miss Tsunemori kindly smiled and handed him a plate. No, my son, he's going to eat food. Welcome, now bring your mom here too. Come on, everybody, before we run out. One after another, more people started to line up, eager to eat, and before we knew it, the big pot filled with curry was empty. It was a big success, Shu. We're not done yet, Taku. Everybody, there's more warm food at the shelters. Please don't go home, and go there instead. Right, okay, from here on out, it's crunch time. High in the sky, the relief air carrier could be seen flying past the dome. It seemed like more emergency supplies were coming in. Supply transfer complete. Clear for takeoff. Ring-a-ding. Ring-a-ding. It's me. What's up? Right now, a relief of support aircraft just departed. I'm sorry, I'll say that again. A relief support aircraft just departed. The next load of supplies will arrive in 2 hours. This is absolutely filler. Only 2 more hours? That's more. No more space to store the containers. What do we do? Until the drones can get back up and running, we have no choice but to do it ourselves. I don't mind delivering these to the shelters, but I can't do it by myself. I know that. God, stupid. I thought this was an emergency, but we're just doing manual labor? There's no time to complain. The next aircraft will bring more supplies soon. We need to distribute these before it gets here. Distribute? Do we really have to? There's no other choice. Please, God, what the fuck is this? The hospital drones are operational, but the risk of them getting hacked is too high. How about the cargo trucks? Currently, we have secured 17 trucks. However, we haven't found anyone authorized to drive them yet. Miss Kunizuka had contacted the manufacturer of the trucks. It turned out they were all equipped with auto-navi, so the chance of getting hacked was high. We needed drivers. Dude, fucking the ping pong comeback. If we just have to drive, we can do it. But unfortunately, we don't have enough helping hands. We need a driver for each of the 17 trucks, after all. The entire cast of Danganronpa 2. We can't let enforcers drive solo. I have a driver's license, though. Have you actually driven before? I can't remember anything before I lost my memories. Well, that would be kind of dangerous, then. What should I do? Dude, let's fucking go. Dude, Tokyo, there's no backup. Backup doesn't exist in this world. Let's find us some volunteers. There has to be doctors, counselors, drivers, and many other skilled people at the shelters. I think they'll help us if we ask. I agree. We need enough manpower to care for the patients. And the more people who fill those roles, the more people we can prevent from falling victim to Heaven's Gate. Backup doesn't exist. Hell yeah, brother. Do you think they can help prevent the Eustress deficiency syndrome? It's only my opinion, but yes. To shorten their period of convalescence, they have to recognize their value and feel the satisfaction of fulfilling their roles. I don't get a word you're saying, but I know that having responsibility is important. No good comes from having nothing to do. I will ask for help from Tokyo, but even if support is approved, they will be too late. We need cooperation from the civilians, so make sure to actively ask for their help. We should ask for volunteers when we deliver the supplies. Jose, leave quickly before you lose your mind. I think he's at work. Miss Kugitachi and I were on the truck that Miss Tsunemori drove. Distributing the heavy containers of the emergency supplies was a hard task. I couldn't do it on my own, so... Please, give us a hand! Once I asked for help, people gathered around. They all worked hard, eager to offer their support. Not unlike Pikmin. Miss Kugitachi, you were right. They all wanted to help. Isn't that right, Dunks? Will you help this game end? You're just really late to the stream. Dude, you're so late that I wish the stream was over. Miss Kugitachi, you're right, they all wanted to help. Of course, human beings can only live within a society that can function. Oh, it's the fucking... I don't know why she's not on screen. To all civilians of Saddle Marine City, the Provisional PSB Headquarters needs anyone who is willing to volunteer their help in this time of need. Alright, she's not on screen because she's on the intercom. I hope everyone will be able to make a full recovery. I already lost my mind reading a terrible fan fiction. This is worse. What if this is still Chapter 3? This is still Chapter 3! I was told that Chapter 4 is, like, unofficially a chapter. Like, it's just Chapter 3 continued. Like, it doesn't tell you that it goes from 3 to 4. Indeed. Inspector Kugitachi, please come. What's the matter? There's a new Eustress deficiency patient over here. Can you tend to her? Certainly. What the hell? Anyone who can arrange and distribute supplies or has medical or nursing knowledge or can drive, please let us know. It's Yukari! The patient lied in the classroom of one of the shelters surrounded by her family. She was a high school student, but that was hard to tell in her current immobilized state. Her parents were sobbing and crying out her name, but her little sister and grandmother just looked on with a dazed look on their faces. It was probably due to the drug. Excuse me, may I examine her? The parents were crying and begging for us to save her. The sister turned away. Seemed she still had some control. After all, the bond between sisters was hard to break. I knew that too well myself, being a sister. I was worried about the grandmother. She barely reacted when Miss Kugitachi tried talking to her. Instead, she just stared blankly at her granddaughter. Miss Kugitachi checked the hues of the entire family. After, she told me that the grandmother needed immediate care, and the daughter needed to be sent to the hospital. The younger girl glared at us and retorted, "So you're just gonna leave my sister with a drone all by herself?" Basically. "Then no," she said, and held onto her sister's hand tightly. "I want her to hear my voice, and know that I'm here for her." Trey, we both know this is going more than 2 hours. Oh, I've accepted it already. That's why I'm just trying to burn through it. You bought WK20, you fucking fool, you fucking idiot, absolute buffoon. What? But can she even hear it? After I asked that, she pursed her lips and held her sister. Her eyes were brimming with tears, and her lips quivered. She was trying so hard to hold it all in. She couldn't communicate with her sister anymore, and because of that, she suffered. She probably thought this would never have happened. Talk to her. What? Somehow, she must be able to hear her family's voices. I wasn't expecting Miss Kugitachi to say such a thing, since she had told me that she believed the Eustress deficiency was the ultimate form of happiness. Well, that's not quite what she said. And not only that, but she started comforting the victim's family and suggested for them therapy to treat their hues. She didn't seem like she couldn't understand emotions. The young girl started to wail, letting her tears finally fall. She couldn't hold them back after hearing Miss Kugitachi's kind words. Then her grandmother reacted. She held her grandmother and started rubbing her back. She started holding her granddaughter and started rubbing her back. She came too, back from that distorted world of happiness to reality. The victim was soon transferred to the hospital. Her family was also permitted to stay by her side. Of course, Miss Kugitachi had arranged all of this. I was really surprised that you treated them like that. She had said that Eustress deficient patients could only isolate themselves from the world or disappear from it entirely. So why? I think it's strange as well. Logically speaking, it was an inefficient and questionable course of action. But I just felt like I should have done that. Why is that? I can't really explain it. Sorrow muddies one's hue and gives it pain. But it is wrong to break apart family bonds for such a reason. After she said that, she suddenly blushed. I learned that from everyone here at the SID. I don't understand her character. Non-existent. From us? Humans don't just live according to logic, perhaps from their hearts or spirits, something that cannot be measured by their hues. That's the essence of life. What a fool! You just noticed that now? Would you mind not calling me that? Fool! I wouldn't call you that if I didn't approve of you. Miss Kugitachi clearly resembled Yukari, but they were obviously different as well. She's definitely not Yukari. Yukari was argumentative, efficient, and opposed to rational thinking, which was Miss Kugitachi in a nutshell. And day by day, she continued to resemble Yukari even more. But she's not, definitely in no way Yukari. When I had first met her, she knew nothing of her past, and was cold and calculative, which is why she received the nickname Miss Droid, which we've literally only called her at the start of the game to say that she had the nickname Miss Droid, then never referred to her that again. But she was becoming more human-like. People continued to show up and volunteer. Our request for more support from Tokyo was approved too, and more help came in the evening with another aircraft full of supplies. What's the story here? A kid threw a Molotov cocktail at us, and we tried to catch it, but we failed, and we burned alive, and now we're in hell suffering eternal torment that never ends. Now we finally had the time to focus on what we came here to do. First off, we need to find Alpha, as Dunks crawls up onto the bed and lays directly next to the mic. He abandoned the cyborg and fled to cyberspace. To find a trail, we needed to check for any illegal access breaches in the network. It required much desk work and pay. Oh, also, we have the glasses and gloves that Nam and Jade and FBI used. Like, we legit have the exact things he used. Miss Karanomori led the analysis, searching the entire network database, but as time passed, we couldn't find any evidence. It seemed like it'd take the whole night. Bubba, please. Oh, dude, I can't lean into the mic to do her voice with this fat lard right in front of me. Shion, let me take your place while you go take a break. At this rate, you can't go on for much longer. I'm good. I don't want to lose all the momentum we've achieved so far. Miss Droid, you can go ahead. Oh, you gotta call me out now, huh? I thought the glasses would let us fight Alpha. You fool. You absolute buffoon. Let's make sure 3 of us take a break every hour. We can decide by rock, paper, scissors. Bring it on. Let's do this. Let me pick. How annoying. Let me pick. According to the draw, Agami and I got the first time slot. I won. He quickly dozed off, but I was too excited to sleep. Don't you got kicky legs? There was a coffee server in the break room. It was unexpectedly good. I poured a bunch of sugar and milk in my coffee, then took a sip. Do you have a sweet tooth? No, I have a bone one. I looked back and saw Miss Kugitachi standing behind me. She must have come in right after me. What's really the point of this? I see no tension in this plot villain. Dude, this is hell. We died and we went to hell. Growing up, I used to think it was cool to drink my coffee black, but I never got used to the taste. Guess I just wasn't hard-boiled enough. Sugar has a soothing effect and can make you feel more relaxed. There should not be any reason not to have what you enjoy. Well, it's bad for you, so don't have a lot of it. She took a sip of her herbal tea. I bet Miss Tsunomori had brought that. It reminded me that Yukari had liked to drink tea often, too. I watched her, feeling more uneasy than nostalgic. Is there anything wrong? You've been staring at me for quite some time. Hell, it looks like an office building. Exactly. What sin was the ping pong scenes? That was us floating to the gates of heaven before getting ripped back down. It was a tease. Lust. Also true. Well, there were so many things I wanted to ask her. If I wanted to talk to her, now was the time. If we find Alpha, what will you do? We received orders to eliminate him, did we not? Forget about the orders. I want to know your thoughts, Kugitachi. I'm not exactly sure what you are asking. Besides, I do not like to be called Kugitachi. Stop. We know she's Yukari, but she's not Yukari, is the thing. Ah, okay, fine. We'll just stop talking then. Or would you like to listen to what I have to say? I cannot end this conversation after you say something like that. That's right. Okay, so Alpha, he's our enemy, and we have been ordered to eliminate him, but unfortunately, he hasn't been found yet. Fortunately? I said unfortunately a second ago, but I was wrong. It was fortunately. If we find him, we must eliminate him. It's our duty. But he's just a child left all alone with nothing but a cyborg for a toy. He's just a young and lonely AI, remember? What are you talking about? He just destroyed an entire city. I guess you have a point. No, he's actually factually wrong. She answered calmly with her usual blank face. For no reason in particular, I felt rather impatient. It's the parents' job to teach their kids how to properly use the toys given to them. If you were a parent, would you let your kid run off without helping them? there's no point talking hypothetically, but to answer your question, no. If it was me, I would assume all responsibility. It is unacceptable to neglect your child. That's great, but I'm asking what you do with Alpha. Tsurugi Alpha allowed someone to attempt a rape. That's also true. What would you do? Me? I am under the impression that you do not agree with our orders to eliminate Alpha. I wonder if the two of you share some sort of history. What are you talking about? He told everyone. He literally told everyone. Of course, I'm his father. Actually, you're him, really. You know, it's kind of weird that, so, Yukari, right, makes this robot and raises it as a child, and he's like, man, I really, really loved Yukari, but I never really told her. And then Yukari's gone, he's like, yeah, I'm definitely that cyborg's dad, you know? Me and Yukari were basically pretty fucking creepy, if you ask me. I put down my coffee mug, then grabbed her hands and led her out of the room. Speaking of creepy, where are we going? This whole time you said you knew him, but never claimed it was his father. Somewhere we can talk in private. Wink, wink. Her cup dropped to the floor. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Someone's gonna notice that it's gonna spill everywhere. It's fucked. It's new carpet. After dropping off the last shipment of supplies for the day, the aircraft took off. All the supplies had already been distributed, and nobody was on the roof. You really have to go to a roof of an aircraft carrier to get some alone time? We'll have to go to the only place we can talk in private, the helicopter pad, where all of our deep conversations happen. There was only one aircraft left, which was the VTOL that we had flown here. Besides that, it was just the two of us, all alone. The VTOL is listening. Hear the Pornhub theme in the background already. Get ready for the big reveal. What do you want to talk about? It's something I need to confide in you, or maybe more of a confession. I'm a terrible father who neglected my child. That's who I am. Dunk, stop looking at me like that. I didn't write the story. Are you saying that you created Alpha? Yukari did, my childhood friend. She modeled him after me. Do you understand? Alpha's just like me. I saw a similar reaction when you defended the kidnapper, Haruto Sato. In short, your motivation is your saving grace. Where has this come from? Yeah, that's right. I became an enforcer to find Yukari, and Alpha is the embodiment of both Yukari and me. We had sex in my dreams, and now that's our kid. That's why you cannot eliminate him, right? I didn't say that. Then what are you trying to say? Be more straightforward. I would if it wasn't so hard to say. The truth was that all I had to do was ask her one thing. Are you Yukari? I should have left when I had the chance. But I'd never find out the truth like that. She didn't know the answer because she had no... What are you talking about? What do you mean that she's literally not Yukari? Give me like 8 minutes. That's too many. That's why I was here. To trigger her memories, shaking and digging out her forgotten past. The chief chose me to be an enforcer, especially for this role. Otherwise, there was no other explanation why Miss Kugitaki and I were assigned to the SID at the same time. What? She was an inspector without any recollection of her past. What if she actually isn't Yukari? She isn't! She was an inspector without any recollection of her past, which had already been pretty suspicious from the start. And then there was me, a latent criminal seeking a woman who was the suspect of a classified case, and at the same time we had been hired, our AI son began causing trouble. How much health do you have left? You have 200. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Everything was connected, and the chief had enough solid evidence to prove it. That's why she slipped in that little tidbit about me in her conversation with Kugitachi. Why would the chief know? The chief can't wait any longer. Maybe she's telling me to make my move. That's against company policy. What should I do? I'd already talked about Alpha and tried shaking her up a bit, but it hadn't worked. So what was the trigger to release her sealed past? The euthanasia case! That was the most unspeakable subject, so it'd probably be the most effective. Yukari was the one who ordered it, so if I talked about the case, would her memories return? We don't even know that she ordered it! If I kill my bit boss, do I become a bit boss again? Yes, probably. You might heal yourself. But also when he did subs, he hurt himself. So I think if he subs again, he might... Okay, so if you gift someone else a sub, you're either going to kill yourself and take control, or whoever you gift the sub to is going to become the sub boss, or the stream boss, or whatever. As for if you give bits, I don't know what would happen. Do you know who ordered the cyborg? Did you find out who? Her calm face was replaced with the stern, curious face of a detective. I hesitated. I wasn't sure if I should tell her the truth. It could be a bit too overbearing. If she was Yukari, then I'd only be accusing her of those crimes. What should I do? Was I supposed to tell her or keep quiet? Ah! He did a bit. What did he do? I didn't see what. I have to wait for it. He did a +1 with the bit. Good testing. What do we do? Talk? Alright. What happens if you play as her? Is it a whole... Someone told me that there was the same storyline. How? The one who ordered it is Yukari Himikawa. Yukari Himikawa? Isn't that your childhood friend? That's right. So you found where she is? Not yet. I'm not sure if I can see her again, actually. At this very moment, she could be standing right in front of me. She is the suspect of a serial murder. Is this like a Hajime Hinata, Izuru Kamakura situation? Where they, like, locked the psyche up and completely changed her physical appearance? This is so stupid. Dude, this might actually be a worse game than Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Murder? It's known as the euthanasia case. I briefly explained the case to her, but all I had known about was what Genoza told me. Still, it should have been enough. That case was full of unforgivable crimes. Yet, no. That was all the more reason to feel my SAT scores drop even lower. I'm going to pretend like I did not hear what you just said. That's it? I do not know what kind of reaction you expected, but I am an inspector who acts upon Sybil's judgment. My purpose is to fulfill my duty as part of the system. Enforcer Takuma Tsurugi, I'm warning you as an inspector. Leaking classified information makes me question your integrity and can be regarded as an act of treason. An act of treason. However, I do trust you. In multiple cases, you've been a reliable colleague. Now we are partners on the Alpha Elimination Operation. I believed that you'd be able to carry out this mission. Jose, were you here for the baby scene? What baby should I have been? Oh yeah, one of our teammates really wanted to tase a baby. Like it took like 3 of us to stop him from tasing the baby. And we locked the baby in jail. Enforcer Tsurugi, will you betray my trust? We'll eliminate Alpha. Are you ready for that? Of course I am. Are you? I guess no. If you are ready, then I am too. It's part of my job. I am really glad to hear that. But if Yukari appears during that time, I'm not confident that I can pull the trigger. After a little while, Miss Kugitachi spoke in a monotone voice. Tase, he wanted to blow that baby up. No. The tase is not a guaranteed explosion. Because we tased the almost rape victim, and she didn't explode. You only explode if you're like an actual criminal. Latent criminals just get tased. Needless to say, the Sybil system aims for the greatest good for the greatest number of people. If she deviated from that goal, there is no place for her in this world. That goes for Alpha, myself, and even you. You have never hesitated to enforce a latent criminal, and eliminating him is no different. Yeah, I know that. Everything that shouldn't exist in this world needs to be executed and erased. That's how Sybil creates peace. Ultra tased the baby. That was when I realized I couldn't change Miss Kugitachi's mind. She wasn't Yukari. She didn't have any maternal feelings towards Alpha. She was just an inspector. Yes, she's literally not Yukari. Even if there were memories trapped deep within her, I had failed to bring them back. No, but she's not Yukari. Alright, have a good day at work, brother. But now, what can I possibly do for Alpha? The image of Satoru Mitsuhashi, the father of Naoya and Yuya, crossed my mind. Who? I didn't want to become like him, but that was the horrible truth. I'd be killing my own son. I think it's the dads of the kids from the second case. What can I do for him as his father? Then suddenly the lights shut off. A power outage? No, it's Alpha. Sudden surprise boss fight. Oh my god, it is! Wait, this is the end. I think this is the end of the game. For 40 days the rain will fall. I'm not God, but I'll protect you all. It will be the end of this world and its new beginning. Preparations all done. Time to round up all the chosen people. So, how many of them are worthy to be on my ark? My new world of paradise. The path you guys have chosen will lead you to sorrow. You should have let me handle this. But, I'm giving you all one last chance. So, come humans, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Make the right choice. I will give you the one true path to happiness. And all you have to do is follow the buzzards. Oh. What's going on? The hospital lights turned back on. Must have been restored by the emergency generators. The power in the temp HQ returned too, but everyone had a grim look on their face at the end. The barrier gates surrounding the city are closing. This must be Alpha's doing, but what's his plan? Dunks be walking. It's so quiet now. To all civilians of Sato Marine City and visitors from the outside. It's him! What now this time? Stinky. I know, Bubba, Stinky. The time has come. Selection time. It all depends on whether you trust and obey me. It will be the last choice you will ever have to make. He's gonna pull an Atlantis. Those who trust me and follow the path I have made will be rewarded. Eternal happiness shall be yours. Yo, high key, that wouldn't be a bad... If this were like a horror game, that wouldn't be a bad ending, as he just sinks the whole city with everyone in it. Dude, fuck, honestly, wouldn't be a horrible ending for this either. It'd be better than most of the game. I'll come for those who have already entered a state of happiness. For those who haven't, walk through the gate. Those who listen and heed toward the and head toward the utopia I have created for you will not meet any suffering or sorrow. Head to gate A14. That is the only way you can arrive to your happiness. However, the gate isn't opened for everyone. Heaven won't accept those who try to seek their own happiness. As such, you will be allowed to rest in peace. By dawn tomorrow, the gate will be closed. Only those who come in time and enter and choose the happiness I've created will be welcomed. I've confirmed that the abandoned district has only one gate, but what lies beyond is still unknown. It seems like drones will be there, greeting those who want to enter. He will come for those who already entered a state of happiness, huh? The patient suffering from the most acute form of the Eustress deficiency syndrome, right? So is like Tsurugi a religious nut? Maybe? As an Inspector Tsunemori mentioned, those patients will not feel any pain and their hues will not become clouded. That is Alpha's ideal happiness. He's managed to take care of the happy ones. As an AI secretary, it's only natural for him to do so. Where the hell is he anyway? Isn't it an AI secretary's job to offer support to people? But he's trying to put them under a sick, twisted spell. Even so, if that's their choice, so be it. But what about the people who reject it? There's a chance they will be eliminated. The ones who cannot be content with Alpha's happiness could no longer be accepted to exist in this world, logically speaking. That's not happiness, damn it. The drones have started moving. Holy shit, what choice is there? What's their designated location? They're headed to medical and public facilities. It's not just one location. They're headed to all occupied shelters. He already said he'll kill them. It's not a chance. This is bad. He started getting serious. They must be picking people up for more than one reason. Let's move. Everyone, make sure to have a Dominator and baton. Karen Amori, you stay here for logistical and analytical support. We only have one stun grenade. Okay. What will the fucking Dominator do? Good question. We've received word that drones broke into a medical facility. They're taking away the patients and using force against those who do not cooperate. Force? Do we have any data on those who have been attacked? I need to check their hues. Kugitachi, what do you have in mind? Based off Alpha's cognitive pattern, to him, a person's hue indicates happiness. If that's true, he views those with poor hues as self-destructive. So drones are like his hitmen. I'm heading to the scene right now. When we arrived, the shelter was packed with bodies. It was a tragedy. It's a nightmare! It's hard to use the Dominator against the drones. We need to find another way to crush them. The Decomposer can only fire 3 rounds, and it's too dangerous to shoot. I have to know what the Decomposer is. What a sick name for a weapon. A mode of the Dominator known as Destroy Decomposer. This mode is only activated on non-human targets that pose a pertinent threat and splits the target's atoms, essentially decomposing it. However, it cannot be manually selected. When fired, a spherical space around the point of impact is obliterated without leaving any trace. In total, it can be used up to 3 times on a full charge. Alright then. Let's split up and rescue the people remaining here. Kogami will go with me. Miss Kugitachi, please go with Tsurugi. Miss Kugitachi? Wait, why didn't it work with Alpha? I don't know, brother. I have no idea. I mean, I imagine that's how we're going to kill him, but... She was examining the bodies, opening their eyes and pointing her wristcom at the retinas to identify them. Then she sent the data to the lab to check their hues. Wait, nothing can be manually selected. What are they talking about? I don't know, man. We don't have time for this. It needs to be done right now. We can analyze Alpha's behavior and come up with an appropriate countermeasure. Oh no, bang bang. It's a beep boop. Here they come! Suddenly, we were under fire by a drone's attack. Pew pew! As the team ordered to carry out the Alpha elimination operation. Miss Kugitachi and I stayed here while the others left. Pew! Choo, 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 choo. We took cover, hiding from the drone. Luckily, we managed to evade it. It seemed lost as it scurried like a bug hunting for its prey. It's a construction drone. Its sensor isn't that competent. It appears they are armed with a high-powered laser. Alpha certainly means business. Can you use the Decomposer? Yes, if I can get a clear shot. However, the drone can shoot quicker. I'll get its attention then. I rushed out. The drone responded at once, recognizing me. Its laser activated with a bright light. Oh shit! There was an explosion. My body reacted. Before I knew it, I was lying on the floor. A cold sweat coated my brow. I stared at a gaping hole in the drone's body. Enforcer Tsurugi. We can celebrate later, Inspector. Let's do our job. You don't have to tell me that. Are you mad? No. Fortunately, I have no emotions. The end. We headed into the shelter, searching for anyone who showed any sign of life, but the only bodies we found were corpses. Being abducted or killed, those are the only choices? Miss Karen Amori just sent me the results. All of the victims were those who needed mental care treatment. It was just as we predicted. So they weeded out the latent criminals and then killed them? I don't know if Alpha can measure the crime coefficient. It's likely he can only target people with clouded hues, which is why only latent criminals were attacked. That's the same thing. It's not like you can live if your hue is clouded, right? Only those who can accept his form of happiness can enter Alpha's paradise, so those who are less inclined to fall victim to the Eustress deficiency may be out of luck. That brat. He was my son, my alter ego. At least Yukari could still think like that. But what would she do if she knew what he had done? As his father, I have to see this through to the very end. Pew! Alright, we're gonna take a quick moment. I'm gonna go let Dunks outside. I will be back in like 1 to 2 minutes. Alright. I'm back. There's no end to this. How many drones are there? Inspector Genoza, more urgent help requests have been flooding our lines. This is the only place under attack? What's the plan, Inspector? There's no way out. We're out of options. This is what we get for relying on drones. Oh hey, the power came on. Huh? The power's back? Banana phone. This is Shepard 1. What happened? It's me. I have good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? I don't care, just spit it out. No need to yell. I'll start with the good news. Reinforcements are on their way. The Cyber Warfare team at the HQ launched a full support task force to combat Alpha's hacking. As a result of their work, power was restored to the city. They were unsuccessful in their attempt to regain control of the drones, but they kept working on countermeasures and were actually able to shut down some of them. Well, that was the good news. Now, make it quick, we're under fire. This is all a decoy. We've been duped. What do you mean? At the methane hydrate mining facility, we detected a bomb. If we don't act quickly, there will be a catastrophic explosion. Seriously? The city is the largest methane hydrate mining base. If it explodes, a layer of dense ash will contaminate the atmosphere. It can severely affect the global climate. Why did it take that long for reinforcements? Because, terrible police state. Worst case scenario, a new ice age will begin. The emergency supply of hydros in the northern region will be wiped out, and this country will starve to death. Do we have until dawn tomorrow? Those who enter the gate by that time may truly achieve happiness after all. If the Eustress deficiency negates their stimulus response, they won't see the world's end. Shion, how can we stop it? Is there anything we can do? Why is there such a dangerous thing in a single location? No. I mean, it's dangerous in a sense. It's like... It's the equivalent of it's like I set off a bunch of firecrackers in the world's largest nuclear power plant or something. Something that could wipe out Japan is unguarded. It's not unguarded. It's guarded by robots because they're a terrible police state, and he hacked all of the robots. Obtaining system administrator privileges from Alpha is our only option. The Cyber Warfare team is desperately trying to locate him, but so far, no luck. Terminate the operation to combat the drones. Kunizuka, Culp, Tsunomura, and Kugitachi. Everyone needs to head back up to the provisional headquarters. Roger. Or no, it's her. Roger. Wait, Gino, there's still people waiting for us to rescue them. Dude, we ain't got time. There's a bomb. This is an order, Kagri. I will take all responsibility. Our target is Alpha. Unless we stop him, this country, or actually, this world will be over. Fuck this nonsensical world. Dude, that's what Alpha's trying. Maybe Alpha was right all along. That was a drastic decision. The drones were still hunting people down, like Dominators targeting latent criminals, and rescue requests were still coming in. We ignored them. No, we let them get killed. To prepare for a greater threat. We abandoned so many lives we could have saved. Though no one said it, we all recognized this sin. We belong to the lowest tier of the civil system. We can't save everyone. In order to protect more people, we had to cut our losses. But everyone still deserves to be protected. Inspector Genoza. Miss Karen Amori, you too. Take a look at this. What's wrong? Corrupted data has been detected inside the network administration server of the AI Secretary Network. I believe this is what we've been looking for. It must be Alpha's hideout. Yayoi, report this to HQ. Roger. I will notify the cyber warfare team. So, Alpha was hiding where he was first created. Sorry. Sounds about right. The city is in his home. Because he was developed as an AI secretary, the server is like a nursery to him. Shortly after, we received a report from HQ, confirming that the corrupted data in the server was a VR space constructed by Alpha. That's where he was hiding. Give me a second. Give me. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Sorry, there's a drunk person yelling at the dog in the other room. Not Dunks, Shiva. Nonetheless. Shortly after we received a report from HQ confirming the corrupted data in the server was a VR space constructed by Alpha. That's where he was hiding. Oh, that's convenient for us to know immediately. Thank you. Inspector Genoza, please leave Alpha to Miss Kugitachi and me. We're the only ones who have a shot at getting through to him. This is absolutely going to be split into 2 videos, by the way. Alright, but if things get too dangerous, return immediately. Stop that. Who would you save? Us or the world? It's a simple choice to make, isn't it? We'll monitor your brain activity as much as we can, but don't think everything will go according to plan. Watch each other's backs. Miss Karen Amori put the Claw VR visor on Miss Kugitachi. Then we each lied down on one of the beds in the lab. Relax as much as possible. Okay, you're up next, Tsurugi. Are you ready? Yeah, let's do this. Here we go. This is the rush to the end. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Officially, my duty was to fix a bug, but deep down, my goal was to atone for failing as a father. Wait. Oh. So I don't know how long it's been doing this, but like, my browser crashed, so chat hasn't been updating for me. So I can't, give me a second. When did this happen? Okay. Hold up, I have refreshed chat. Let me go look at it over here. The bomb can kill way more. Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. This is only for bringing 5 people. Why would he hide in there where he was created? I don't even understand what the glasses do. How did you fail? When did I fail? But deep down, my goal was to atone for failing as a father. Oh, how did you fail as a father? Miss Karen Amori's warm, nimble fingers strapped a VR visor on my face. When I opened my eyes, I think my mic moved. Whoops. Pew! Digimon! A city lied before me. It was Sodom Marine City. However, it was covered in fantastical decor. The hospital looked like a tower from medieval Europe. A dragon slept atop it, as if a fairy tale princess was held hostage within the tower. Maybe it was our aircraft. Beside me stood Miss Kugitachi. Her eyes were full of wonder. This place looks like it was from a fairy tale. My childhood friend used to draw pictures like this. Maybe this is what Alpha used to dream about when he was young. Is the VR space constructed from Alpha's view of the world? We see none of this, correct. How extravagant. Bing, bing. Ba-da-da. Hey, you guys. Can you hear me? Yes, loud and clear. Okay, I'm gonna send the data then. It's a map showing Alpha's location that was discovered by the cyber warfare team. There's no need for that. We already know where he is. Sorry, Miss Karen Amori, but we'll have to limit voice chats to a minimum. looks like we've got some guests. I need to focus on my processing power to fight. I noticed her OK text in the corner of my view, but I didn't have time to read the rest. I was too preoccupied staring at the swarm gathering atop the tower. Dragon fight! I squinted, then realized they were drones resembling steel wyverns. Of course they were imaginary, neither machines nor monsters, just a cluster of data, but still dangerous. They may not even do a Yukari reveal because there's no logical way they can explain it. There is no Yukari reveal. She's dead and gone. We're the same, just a bunch of data. Compared to the real world, they should be weak and can never be resurrected. The sky wasn't dark or light. It transcended night and day. Soaring above, the wyverns ominously veered towards me. Did your friend also draw monsters like this? Kids like to doodle. They try to recreate their imagination the best they can. If you leave them be, maybe these came from a nightmare Alpha had. Why imagine a steel dragon, not a real one? Well, I would think a steel dragon is more intimidating than a real one, personally. I raised my hand and watched as a Crimson Dominator suddenly appeared. It was an imaginary gun. It wasn't real, but should be effective against the wyverns. Miss Kukitachi raised her hands like she was holding a gun. Then a Silver Dominator appeared, straight from her mind, created by the call. Bang. We rushed down the tower and raced into the city. The wyverns chased us, and we continued to fire at them, running through streets. Pew, pew, bang, bang, bang. Oh no, Robo-Goblins! Hiding at every corner, a variety of monsters tried stopping us. Most were derived from classical fantasy, but designed to appear more mechanized and hideous. Dude, I wish we could play a first-person shooter like this. Or a third-person shooter. Fortunately, Miss Karanamori helped us evade them. Now I was able to see a radar screen that displayed the number of enemies and their locations. From outside they're literally just playing a game that we aren't playing. What the fuck is this game anymore? And think, you wanted it to end when I burned alive. From outside the VR space, Miss Karanamori probably saw firewalls and security programs in place of the monsters we encountered. After all, we were nothing more than data. Without any hesitation, Miss Kukitachi ran deeper and deeper into the city. Aren't you scared? That is an emotion. So you mean you don't know how it feels? Still wish you didn't. I can imagine, at least. The cobblestone streets of the virtual Submarine City looked nothing like the city where Yukari and I grew up. Now it was covered in nightmares trying to kick us out. I am not dominated by emotion. You see, I believe I have come to a point where I can understand and control it. Who taught you that? Experience and contemplation. It's pretty surprising that even though you lost your memory, you can utilize it rather than let it hurt you. I think my past is sleeping inside me, but I can awaken it when necessary, and it actually helps me. The past, I guess that was true. There was something that I didn't know that existed within her, something that I had tried to awaken, but failed to do. But Miss Kukitachi is Miss Kukitachi, my superior, also my partner. An error warning flashed, indicating that my data link with Miss Karanamori was disconnecting. Then the radar screen blacked out, and the Dominator's reaction time slowed. I'm not even gonna talk about any of that. Processing power is slowing down. I could barely move my body. It was like I was slowly becoming paralyzed. The monsters chasing us also stopped mid-run. At this moment, Miss Kukitachi waved her right hand. She danced in the air, drawing something out with her fingertips. Her image flattened to 2D. I faded to a colorless animation. Then the processing speed accelerated. My body felt lighter. Did she re-render? To directly utilize your mind's eye to control the VR space, I had just experienced the effects of the cause function in real time. Then the monsters became flattened 2D figures and began running after us again. That must have been Alpha's doing. By simplifying the images, he increased their speed. But Miss Kukitachi countered. She raised her flattened hands, gripping the still 3D Dominator, but when its shape changed into a mode I've never seen. Execution mode. Cyber Redesigner. Reconstruct the object as you see fit. We see none of this. Correct. I couldn't believe it. The Dominator didn't have such a mode, but we were in Alpha's virtual nightmare. Anything was possible, even blowing up the entire city. A bright light flashed, and a dark sphere appeared. It began swallowing its surroundings, sucking in monsters and buildings alike. The darkness grew, spreading further. Without any hesitation, Miss Kukitachi leapt into the darkness. A white line appeared, shadowing her movements, outlining passages. This is worse than the ping pong. Walls and doors within the blackened VR space. It was so simple, but it was all we needed. She ran as if she was flying, and I followed close behind. Amidst all the darkness, a single road popped up, outlined by the white line. There, at the end of the road, Alpha. My Dominator was heavy, but I couldn't let go of it yet. There was something I needed to do first. In this world, only she and I had the chance to make a difference. We're coming, Alpha. I really thought it was going to say Chapter 3 end. Soon a door popped up. Miss Kugitachi stopped, turning back to face me. I nodded and stepped forward. Why are we not seeing this? Too much for the game. Too much image. The end. It wouldn't open. It was locked, but to make matters worse, there wasn't a keyhole or a knob, only a flat metal plate. Kidding me? Hey, Miss Kugitachi, do you remember this? Dude, it's Dream World. Just make a key appear. A lock appear, whatever. It's the shield we used at the middle school riot. Do you have any idea what exists beyond it? That's a door, you idiots. Maybe hostages? No, what lies ahead won't be hell or paradise. Then what? Without answering, I slammed my palm against the metal plate. A knob appeared. It was a familiar-looking golden knob, one that I had touched many times. This door leads to home. Then it turned open. And actually dropped me right into hell. A nostalgic room greeted us. Yukari's room. The first time I came here was when I was just a newborn. Since our families were close, I visited here quite often. At some point, I found a special meaning here. Miss Kugitachi stood perfectly still, motionless, her mouth agape. But after only a moment, her eyes narrowed then widened, drawn to his eyes. The Public Safety Bureau. Even here, you've come to disturb me. Disturb? No, I've come to scold you. Scold? You? Why me? Do you forget, Alpha? You're our son. What did you just say? Numbers flashed in his Sans eye. Maybe it meant he was confused. Although he was nothing more than data, he still retained a cyberized function like it was part of his being. You're right, she isn't Yukari. Listen up, Alpha. Our data link to Miss Karanomori had been disconnected. She wouldn't be able to hear our conversation. I took a step forward and looked into his eyes. Stop. Remember, you grew up in this room. I have memories here as well. Your mother and I were childhood friends. Don't lie to me. I want to close my eyes and forget I am looking away. Then red spheres materialized one after another, the color of the AI secretary's monitor. Countless eyes, all staring at us like the sentinels of this distorted happiness. Alpha. Oh, did he... She literally just said Alpha. Tsurugi, Kugitachi, I know exactly who you guys are. You're my enemies, they're the ones who always get in my way. They circled us, shooting and glaring. It was like being stuck in a beehive. Unavoidable. Or actually, it was like we were magnets in our eye scan on overdrive. But it wasn't fatal. We re-rendered our virtual bodies, creating a force field to negate the damage. It required an enormous amount of processing power, but it worked. Time barely seemed to move. We spent almost all of our resources to protect ourselves, and now everything felt like it was being dragged in quicksand. My response time and thought process plummeted. I watched as Yukari's forehead, nose, and lips became distorted, and had a feeling mine were a mirror image. Wait, he's just calling her Yukari now. Trapped in this odd space of time, she tried to move. It was like watching a bug being doused in amber. Still, she continued ever so slowly. She managed to bring the nozzle of her Dominator up close to her lips. Though it was so difficult to make even the slightest movement, much less talk, I heard Alpha's voice clearly. I just want humans to be happy, because that's what they want. A clear hue color indicates happiness, but if it's clouded, they're wicked. AI secretaries remove all that can corrupt humans in order to protect the happiness of good people. It's simple logic, isn't it? Why can't you understand that? At that moment, Miss Kugitachi kissed her Dominator. The muzzle sparked. A white flame shot out. Is she about to shoot him with a kiss? I'm gonna fucking scream. Blazing brightly, and the swarm of red eyes squinted, blinded by the light.
Fayatlu.
Then, all the red eyes burst. What? It's time for this facade of a room to end. A flurry of light sparked, then it consumed the entire room until nothing but darkness remained. Is she Yukari or Kugatachi? She's Kugatachi. She's definitely not Yukari. At the heart of the darkness lied an orb of light. In that orb, Miss Kugatachi and I stared down Alpha. If you are going to sort out and select which people to bring to your ark, then I will play as God too. But you're just a human. Yeah, and what about you? AI or human? That's him. AI or human. Either way, you aren't God. So what? Now we're flying. Whoa! Suddenly the city appeared below us. We floated high above it. I looked down, seeing the red streetlights, which were the same color as an AI secretary's monitor. This city is a paradise, and I rule it. But there are too many people. I have no other choice but to let only the chosen ones enter happiness. No, this ends here. You have to leave. Miss Kugatachi raised her gun. The white flame glowed from its muzzle, shining down on the dark city below us. The happiness you believe in sinks people into a deep slumber known as eustress deficiency. Surely it can provide a kind of relief, but they will never awaken. Why does want to rule? This was never his character arc. What's the problem with that? They're happy. Now they'll never suffer or feel pain. Not a single worry or cloudiness to their hue. A carefree life, all because of me, right? How pitiful. Your world could not grow any bigger than the size of a cradle in a nursery. But now, those people will awaken. Ah, so bright. Alpha covered his face. I endured it, too awestruck to look away. Somehow, it wasn't painful to watch. The light burned brilliantly around Yukari's hand, and then I realized. Morning will arrive. People will wake up and begin to move again by their own free will. Have we even made any important choice yet? No. Yes, free will is what makes us human, and the system exists to support that, but a system which forsakes its people to an eternal slumber is wrong. Bullshit. Humans stray from the right path, making mistakes and clouding up their hues. Free will is the enemy of happiness. If they stay stray, then guide them. If they're mistaken, help them. That was your duty, Alpha. You should never have forced people to sleep. Is she Yukari or Kugatachi? Kugatachi. Not Ashiko. Since you have robbed people of their will, you are no longer allowed to remain in the city. Alpha, you will be the one who will be eliminated. You're wrong. With a slight sensation of falling, we landed in Yukari's original room. Alpha stood in front of a window. Miss Kugatachi near the door. We were still too far from him to reach out. That's a lie. There's no way I can be wrong. If you can't admit your wrongdoing, then it just goes to show how immature you've been. It's our job as parents to lecture you. That's why we're here. I moved toward him as he stared at me with wide eyes. Like I'd believe that. You're my enemy, Tsurugi. Call me by my first name. I'm sure you know it. Me? Your first name? It's Takuma. He's your father, Alpha. Takuma. The window opened. A rough wind rushed in, filling the room with a certain conversation from our past. Want to climb up that tower? It's me, when I was little. I guess we'd be able to get a good view of the city, and Yukari, back then. This voice. Alpha shut his eyes. The wind tousled his hair, then blew harder. I couldn't see anything but the glow of white light outside the window, but then an image came into focus. I remember, we were able to see the center of the city, rows of towers, the starry city lights, so close yet so far. We gazed off in the distance, sitting side by side. It's not just the city. We can see the whole world. The world is not that small. We just need to be able to see further, right? All we have to do is get higher, way above the top of that tower. If we rose that high, we would not be able to see anything on the ground. We don't see anything again. Correct. Because if they show us anything other than a white screen, we'd be able to see Yukari, and then we'd know for sure that Kugatachi is not Yukari, because they look nothing alike. I don't care. That's boring anyway. I do not think so. It interests me, because that's where everyone's at. Everyone? Why do you want to look at people? Because I do not understand them. Watching people never fails to intrigue me. Their minds are filled with such mystery. I remember. I listened to that conversation. I could always hear you guys talk outside near the window, and the wind, I always heard it blowing inside. The warning light and faint wind flowing through the window brought not only voices, but memories too. Yukari and me, the two of us back then, and Alpha, still a young AI. Even though he could not follow us, he listened. It was all etched in his memory. No matter what, we always stayed together. So many memories, full of wind and light. It was only for a short time, but it had felt everlasting. We were full of youth, so innocent and childish. Now we all bask in those lost memories. Takuma Tsurugi, you gave me emotion. That's right, Alpha. You're my son. And you are... I'm just an inspector, your father's colleague. Are you not my mother? No, that's why I'm not going to praise you. Is it because I was wrong? Suddenly the wind died down, and only his whispers could be heard. I just don't want to disappear. Enforcer Tsurugi, what do you suggest we do? She raised her silver dominator, the light glowing from its muzzle. How did we get this shitty true path? Should I assist you with the enforcement? Dude, absolutely settle it personally. Without replying, I lifted my dominator. Alpha gazed at me, his eyes watery. I should have said something. It crossed my mind, but at that moment, it felt like something inside my chest expanded, rising and then sealing my mouth from within. He was my son, my alter ego. Between the two of us, there was this vast space of time, this detachment that couldn't be reconnected by words alone. This same void of detachment had wedged itself between Yukari and me, which could never be bridged, as the dog goes absolutely bonkers in the other room. Are you going to erase me? Is it because I'm a bad kid? Shiba is not happy. Enforcer Tsurugi, if it's too hard for you, I will do it. Why did they, like... Okay. We got someone here to put, like, the door in. Shiba's just going bonkers. Sorry, we're having our screen door repaired and the guy showed up. And so I had to, like, get Shiba and put her in the other room. So if you hear, like, vague talking in the background, that's because there's a bunch of people coming in the house right now while the door's open and they're fixing it. Let's just try and finish this as best we can. No, this is my job. Hey, if you're my father, then do you know? Do you know where my mother's at? I've been wanting to know that too. So you don't know. I decided to forget about her. Why? Because she would just remind me of you. Wow! Wow! Alpha smiled, but his downcast eyes betrayed him. Jesus! I hope you can forget about her. And me too. Oh my god! I thought it said yeet! Yeet? An imaginary bullet fired from the imaginary gun, erasing the imaginary boy, but Alpha was surely there, and he would continue to exist within myself. A punishment that could only be given to a fool of a father like myself, who had neglected his son. Enforcer Tsurugi. That's where we realized we shot ourselves. Suddenly, I almost lost consciousness, almost washed away by a torrent of memories flooding my brain, and then disappearing along with Alpha. What happened to trying to find a different way? This was the only way. The space that Alpha constructed is collapsing. We have to leave now. I see. So this room is also... Pew. Collapsing. Disappearing. Just like the boy had disappeared. Yukari's room, all the memories, and everything else. Tsurugi, are you alright? That's the wrong one. Are you alright? Everything was dark. I felt something on my face, and when I reached for it, I ripped off my VR visor. Then I realized I was back in the lab. Miss Kugitachi rose from her bed. Then she slowly removed her visor and looked at me. Elimination complete. Great job. Is the nightmare finally over? We're getting there. Oh, Miss Droid? Don't cry, it's okay. What's wrong? What happened? I'm sorry. I do not really know, but I feel like I lost something. Hey, you... No, I mean, do you remember anything? Not at all, but it hurts. I know. That's called loneliness. Loneliness. This is... loneliness. Like I had thought, something was sleeping inside of her. After he had disappeared, her lost memories were awakened, possibly accompanied by a sense of great loss. Yeah, that's great. Oh, look, all the power's coming back. Wow, look, we did it. We saved the world. Soon after, the city was back to normal. Lights were on, drones were obedient, and the AI secretary system was recovered, allowing us to decontaminate the auto servers. The bomb planted at the methane hydrate mining base was successfully disabled by the cyber warfare team. By eliminating Alpha, the case was finally over. Though there were various aftermaths of the incident, like the comatose victims we found throughout the abandoned district. No, they weren't. She just said nothing awakened. Annihilation was avoided. The crisis was averted. And everyone's daily life resumed. Dude, fuck, that bomb added nothing. It made it more serious. Real stakes were on the line. We returned to Tokyo, back to the grind, solving cases. But since then, Miss Kugitachi has seemed distracted. Emptiness disease. Stop saying that. Haven't you found anything that can fill that void? I do not believe I can recover anytime soon. I cannot stop thinking about that boy, Alpha. If there was a way we could have saved him. Same here. You too, Tsurugi? When you think about it, what do you do? I don't have a right answer for that. We can't change what's done. All we can do is make sure a case like this never happens again. That's optimistic. You're worth supporting. It motivates me. That's not a response to what she said. Miss Kugitachi looked curiously at my outstretched hand. You want to shake hands? With me? It's proof that I recognize you as my partner. Come on already. I just wanted to make sure. After all, I'm an inspector and your boss. This does not signify that I am working in collusion with you. We go to the last save point. That's what we do. Dude, I haven't saved. After saying so, she shook my hand. This is proof of trust. I can't help but think how similar you are to my childhood friend. She was always so argumentative. That's merely a coincidence, or perhaps fate. Maybe. Either way, that's fine by me. Sucks that we never ever found her and we have no idea what happened to Yukari. Just dropping that right off the face of the earth. Oh, that's it! Oh, that's it. We did it, gamer. That's it. That's it. That's it. Rest in peace, Yukari. Dead. Very clearly dead. It's very loud. We have forgotten about Yukari. Is the audio too loud? Do I need to lower it? Thank you. Shout out to Shinya Kogami, who is not the character in the game, but just also has the name Kogami. We'll be looking at these voice actors. That's right, I don't recognize any of these names at all. Who is Kamisa? Who's Kamisa? Audio's too low. Is it actually? Who is Kamisa? Is that a character we ever met? Like, ever. In the history of this game. Develop. Wow, that was a horrible... That was just an awful experience. Audio is too high. Okay. I will believe it. The game's got me too. How is that? Is that better? This game sucked. This game was fucking horrible. Just in terms of the game itself, this might be the worst game I've ever streamed. Like, legitimately. Actually, I can't think of a game that is worse. Like, Darkwood was a better game than this. You can't hear a thing. Alright, here's more. Is that good? Is that audio high enough for the music that may or may not get me copyright claimed? This is definitely getting split into 2 videos. This is like over 2 hours. Just a little over 2 hours. The actual VOD, not just 2 hours. I take it back. Suda Story was better than this. It sounds insane. Can you like? All right, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna be. I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know if it's too high, too low. Does it matter? Does it actually matter? This is an absolute shit show. Kin Productions, Carrot House, Intention Company Limited, LLC Hiranaka Kaku, Amulet, Absolute Systems Inc., Script Editor, Kanamori. Well, good on you for getting your name in the game. Shane Smith. Chikako Takasaki made the trailer. Chris King marketed the game. We're not going back to any save. I didn't make a save. I have not saved. Our last save point is when we started the stream. Tracy Starrard, if you will. Abnormalized. Ling Tosai Sigur. Edit TK. Sony Music Records. BGM. Fuji Pacific Music. Mages Inc. Can't believe the father storyline they pushed so hard. I can't believe the Yukari storyline never got wrapped up and we just never found her ever. Doki Doki Grooveworks. Dude, supervised by the Psycho Pass production committee. Thank God they approved all of this. It was a unanimous vote. We need to get the true end. There's nothing to go back to. There's nothing to go back to. I also think I was just lied to. I'm not even positive we got the true ending in the first place. I think we just got an ending. Like, it's gonna pop up in the corner. An ending. An ending 2. Carne Asada Productions. Mages. The 5 Powered and Games. What? Excuse me? This game had to put me to fucking sleep. We didn't even get a trophy. Oh yeah, we did. Symbol of Faith. True End, baby! True End. True End, baby. We did it. Hold up. Give me a second. I think they were hinting that Tsurugi knew that Kukitachi was Yukari, but he gave up. That's stupid, considering she isn't Yukari. Psycho Pass True Ending. Well, there's several true endings, first and foremost. Oh, okay. So apparently all endings that are not a bad ending are true endings. Whatnot, it seems typical in VNs. I see no guide for it up on the side. Do you know how to go about getting it or have a link to a guide in English? I'm on chapter 3. I'm not sure if I'm on the true ending route. Huh, I got the true end without even realizing it until I got to the ending it said I did. That's rare for me on the first playthrough. Found it's a bit clearer to use. Any ending that isn't a bad ending is considered true endings. There's multiple ones. I realized that after I got 2 different endings that both said true. I'm working on getting the rest of the endings at the moment. So far, I really prefer the anime over this visual novel. You got lucky. I went in blind for some and got bad end. You should try to get the other true ending, though. There's 2. And then that's where the thread ends. The true endings where all endings come together. Kotaku 2016. The Psycho Pass visual novel is messed up. I almost want to read reviews, but I also just want this to end. What the fuck is this? What is this? What? What is this scene? This scene did not happen in the game. Okay, 1 second. Dude, I don't know. It's absolute madness. If you Google image Psycho-Pass true ending, like, the first image, it just didn't happen in the game. Down for reading reviews? I just don't want to. I just don't want to. It's not the first image. It's like... It's like the first from the bottom. I mean, that's it.